Hey folks, good morning and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. It's about 2 a.m. on Saturday morning, so if you're joining this after the fact, again, thanks for joining us. And we'll hop into the forecast as we continue through the next little bit. Obviously, I'll look at wind speeds, quite breezy across the area. Here's a look at what's going on across the area with the help of the radar made possible by Brown's Roofing. Of course, schedule your free roof inspection, brownsroofingla.com. We put the radar into motion. Again, a lot of light precipitation continues across southern Arkansas and continuing to add on to whatever ice accumulations we've already started to kind of endure across these areas. And then you can also still see the moisture kind of backfilling to the west across eastern Texas. So this is going to be something that continues off and on through much of the day Saturday, with that lull that we're expecting later tonight, and then picking back up again early tomorrow morning, early Sunday morning. Again, we're now into Saturday, folks. A quick check of temperatures and a look at where some areas have dropped below freezing. Shreveport Regional at some point, I believe they said at 12:43 this morning, dropped to 32 degrees. El Dorado's at 27, Camden's at 25. Monticello's already at 23. Monroe at Monroe Regional currently sitting, I believe, at 34. We check over at the Louisiana Mesonet, which is operated by the University of Louisiana Monroe, and just going kind of in order with the current temperatures that we have across the area. Plain Dealings at 28.77, Homer's at 28.8, Dubach 30.3, Mer Rouge at 30.7, Farmerville at almost 31 even. Lake Providence is at 32.5. Monroe's at 32.8. Ringgold's at 33.03, so pretty much 33 flat. Eris at 33.24. Jonesboro 33.53. I know that seems very meticulous to be talking about fractions of degrees, but that's where we are. It being fractions of a degree over 32 is better than being fractions of a degree below 32. And so we'll continue to keep an eye on those as we progress through the rest of the night. As I mentioned, wind speeds out of the northeast generally in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range. So be aware that it is quite breezy across the region. And you factor that into the current air temperatures and the wind chills, the apparent temperature, the feels like temperature, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to slice it, is extremely uncomfortable across the region. Quick check of power outages. We do have some sporadic outages in our area. I doubt these are weather related in terms of cold weather related. They may be wind related over in Warren County, Mississippi, and then in Columbia County, Arkansas. Again, some small numbers of outages there. Check of road conditions. And again, as of 2 o'clock this morning, we're starting to see a good chunk of southern Arkansas accumulating certain degrees of ice. Some areas are seeing more than others. I'm going to hop over to the other computer real quick and just kind of take a quick look at some of our traffic cams. The road looks in El Dorado at Highway 82 and 167. In fact, there you go. There's an RDOT vehicle, two different RDOT vehicles making their way down 167. I know I can't show you that, but right there in El Dorado, two RDOT vehicles making their way down the road are the only cars on the roads. So that kind of gives you a general perspective that, again, roads are being treated and situations are being surveyed across southern Arkansas. Check of road temperatures. Most of these areas already are seeing road temperatures below freezing. In northern Louisiana, most of those spots still seeing road temperatures above freezing. But again, expect conditions to deteriorate from northwest to southeast as we continue through the remainder of the morning. Futurecast, again, we get a new one of these particular computer model runs. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model. We get one of these every hour, and you can still see that the onset of precipitation in northern Louisiana is expected relatively gradually and fairly light through a good chunk of the morning hours today, continuing through midday, perhaps becoming fairly widespread. I do want to caution folks that joined me at midnight, and I did acknowledge that we were running ahead of time, ahead of the pace with that cold air invading across the region. That cold air has started to slow down a little bit. I would still say it's a smidge ahead of the pace, but it is not as far ahead of the pace as it was earlier this morning. That all said, We will see most spots drop below freezing, but it will be a gradual process. Meanwhile, this first disturbance also may pull a little bit of warm air in with it. So some spots that are above freezing may stay above freezing, even though you look at the temperatures and you start kind of extrapolating it out in your area, thinking, okay, we're going to drop, here in the next couple of hours. May not be the case. That rate of cooling may continue to slow down as that cold, dry air continues to collide with a lot of warm, humid air over the region with the overrunning moisture in place. Again, there's that lull in precipitation we've been talking about for Saturday night, tonight, before we get into Sunday morning. As we continue to add freezing rain totals on, we're going to start seeing several hundredths of an inch or even several tenths of an inch of freezing rain, and then the potential for ice accumulations to continue across northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, eventually into northern Louisiana. But that's going to be a process that continues through the rest of the morning hours and even into the afternoon tomorrow. A look at the possible accumulations through this weekend. Again, I don't want to touch on these for an extended period of time because, again, a lot of this stuff is stuff you've already seen, but ice accumulation is our biggest concern, and thus the reason that an ice storm warning remains in place for the vast majority of the region. Winter storm warning for the areas in pink, Ouachita, Bradley, Calhoun, and Drew counties in southern Arkansas. Everybody else, they've made it easy for us under an ice storm warning until Sunday evening. So that's where we are. Has everybody got it? Hopefully, again, I'm seeing some stuff saying that they're not getting notifications and that I'm glitchy and all kinds of things. So before I shut this thing down, I just want to make sure everybody got the information that they were needing. And a reminder that our next live will be at 4 a.m. So we got another 2 hours or so, and we will do this all over again. Again, these lives are really designed here in the short term just to keep you updated with the current conditions. In terms of the forecast, where the forecast is set, and that information has been made available repeatedly over the last several days. So if you come in and you're like, hey, what's the forecast? Boy, we've talked about the forecast. Now it's more of what's going on right now and what can we assess right now across the region. In terms of notifications, Missy, I'm not sure what types of notifications you're looking for that you're not receiving. Kevin says, looks like that drive to Mansfield, probably not possible, huh? It's, again, it just depends on road conditions in some areas, and we can't just assume that we will continue this northwest to southeast march of icy road conditions. Again, it will be gradual. And in terms of travel, unfortunately, a lot of folks are going to have to make those decisions on their own. Oh, Missy, I'm not sending out push notifications right now for live updates. Simply because there's not a whole lot happening right now. There's accumulating ice, but in terms of widespread heavy accumulating frozen precipitation across the entire region, we're not really seeing that yet. That's probably more likely continuing through the rest of the morning hours. But I haven't been sending those push alerts out. It's 2 a.m., and I don't want folks hearing the buzz, buzz, buzz of their phone alert going, oh, I'm getting a weather alert. Oh, my gosh, something must be going on. They look down, they're like, oh, Jared's live again. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I think people would – I don't want to run the risk, honestly, of people uninstalling the app. So I'm hoping that if most folks that that's why we tried to set the schedule so that you could set your alarm if you wanted to wake up, but also if you want to sleep, and this information will be there when you get it. Now, Missy, as we go into the rest of the day and we get kind of into the morning and afternoon hours on Saturday, we may do those push alerts when we do the lives when everybody's awake. But like I said, I didn't want to take everybody off. Kimberly Johnson says there are already 2 exits on I-20 closed in Ouachita Parish. Be careful, everybody. Kimberly, a lot of that's done out of an overwhelming abundance of caution early on because bridges, overpasses, on-ramps, off-ramps are the first ones to freeze and collect ice. And so DOTD typically errs on the side of caution. If you know this area, you'll start seeing roads close pretty quickly. Just got a picture from my nephew Cooper up in Sherwood, Arkansas, of what appears to be a combination of sleet and snow combined. And again, our folks in southern Arkansas, or in central Arkansas, excuse me, are getting quite the wintry precipitation. For us, again, it will likely be ice, and it's going to perhaps be a headache. Power outages and those types of things, something that we'll have to watch as we go through the day. Again, next live is set for 4 a.m., which is about 2 hours-ish, an hour and 45 minutes from now. I'm going to cut a quick video for all of our other non-live platforms. You'll see it on our live platforms as well. Just a quick update for the morning to kind of set and square everything away. I'll check in with you in again a couple of hours. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the app. And we'll check in with you at 4 a.m.